So here's the deal. On November 16th, I knew something wasn't right with Michael. And
So we're reacting to Bruce Rivers. He's a content creator that I watch. If you saw my last video, basically his son passed away in November to drugs, and in this video, I just wanted to show my appreciation to how much I like his videos, and I'm subscribed to his videos. I watch his videos every time it comes up on my timeline. He's part of my algorithm. He's a lawyer, and his son was basically like one of those smart kids. His mom passed away 20 something years ago. He'd been using drugs since high school, on and off. His father was just after me successful. He's a lawyer. He's a successful content creator. But before a content creator, his father, right here, Bruce Rivers, is a lawyer, very successful. And he crashed cars. He bought him new cars, paid for him to go to college. This kid did so much things at a young age. He was on a boat with his father fishing. There's things that this kid went through. Well, he's a grown man now because a grown man had passed away, not a kid. But the things that he went through with his father, there are kids all over the world that they'll give up a pinky to replace their lives with his life. So, with that said, let's get to it. He's going to get into the details of how his son passed away, and just embrace yourself because this is a very sad story all around. Let's go. Like and subscribe.
and I would have to check on him constantly. There was one incident back in March of last year where I couldn't get a hold of him. So I called his buddy Nick, and Nick went over to his house. He looked in the window and he sees Michael on the floor. And he broke in and calls an ambulance and takes him to the hospital. And he goes into ICU for 4 days on an overdose. His arm was fucked up because he had been laying on it. And Nick basically saved his life that day. And every day after that, and even before that, I would check on Michael just to check on him. In May, he crashed his car. We got him a new car. In June, he crashed his car again. I let him use my car. In November, he crashed my car and then overdosed. So what happened was, on the November 16th, we filmed an episode.
Really sorry to say this, Bruce Rivers, but you spoiled your son. Your success destroyed your son, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault because as a man, you have to become successful. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, oh, I can't be successful because I'm gonna spoil my kids. You have to be successful. Your son's job is to look, observe, learn, and follow, and not be depressed or not be, intimidated by his father's success. That was your son's job. For a man to crash multiple cars, and then for you to keep giving him a car, keep buying him a car, keep lending him a car, after he crashes and crashes and crashes, and this man is over the age of 18, 19, 21, we're talking about somebody who is almost approaching 40, and you're buying cars for him like it's candy?
Episode. And he was a little messed up, and he posted one of the videos. You could tell he's messed up. And he would always tell me, I'm not using, but he was on Suboxone, right? And he said, this is just an effect of Suboxone, which was bullshit. He was buying all this drugs on the dark web and having cocaine and whatever else they put in it shipped to his house. And then he was on muscle relaxers that he.
Exactly. That's what these druggies do. That's what these rich druggies do. They sit at home and they figure out ways, especially the smart ones that's good with computers. They sit at home and they figure out ways to get drugs to come to their home. That's all they do. And the most common thing druggies do is they have multiple drugs for all type of different pains. They'll tell you, oh yeah, gabapentin is for my leg nerves. Oh, oxycodone, that's for my lower lumbar. Yeah, Percocet, that's for my left leg. Yeah, morphine, yeah, that's for my lower neck. Every drug has a purpose in their head. That's why they'll go to the hospital and they want Dilaudid, one of the most powerful drugs in the hospital. One of the most, not the most. They want Dilaudid for a wrist pain. They'll want Percocet because they got out the bed and they feel like a little kink in their back.
He got from India. He was on this, he was on that. And I couldn't control it. And so, but I would always check on him. Michael, how are you doing? If I couldn't check on him or if I couldn't hear back, then I knew something was wrong. And on the 16th, I went over to his house and I checked on him and he seemed fine. And then I left. And then the next morning, I said, Michael, and he wouldn't respond. I went over to his house. We got a locksmith and I found him on the bathroom floor with face down, lighter in his hand, purple face because all the blood was rushed to his face. His nose was white, dead.
Wow. He found his son dead. Purple face, white nose, with a lighter still in his hand, so it was a good cook up. He was about to sniff up. It was some good cook up. Michael couldn't wait. He couldn't even wait. He was in his own bathroom, not even in his own room. In his bathroom, usually people go to a bathroom if they hide in it from somebody. It's like in his brain, it feels like he was hiding it from the world. He thought the world was even in his own home. So in his own home, he went to his own bathroom to hide to do drugs when he was the only one that lived there. Think about that. Think about what Michael was thinking at the time of his death. Think about what his father went through watching him dead, face down. That's sad for any father. There's no kid in the world that would not want a father like Bruce Rivers. No kid in the world. I mean, somebody that successful. There's no way you could be a kid of this man and don't wind up doing what you need to do, because he had a son that was a failure in life. But because of him, he accomplished so much and he was so bright and he did so many things. He did more things than people that's actually doing right. And he was actually a failure.
And there's no greater pain than the death of a child. There just isn't. I miss him terribly. And some of you guys commenting weren't the nicest, and you can say what you want, but I tried. And I was so proud of him, and I'm still proud of him. I just wish those drugs wouldn't have taken hold of him the way they did. He wouldn't go to treatment. He wouldn't stop doing drugs. And he was 127 pounds when he died. And in the autopsy report, the cause of death was a death by overdose of a multiple cocktail of cocaine, methamphetamine, and some derivative of Xanax. That's basically what was in his system. So, as hard as it is, I tried to keep tabs on him 24/7, but you can't. He was 27 years old. He was a grown-ass man making his own decisions. But he probably should have been committed civilly, honestly. So when you talk about the drug market, and drugs being a victimless crime, no, you know better than that. So this is just to give you an update as to where we've been. You know, we had his funeral just that very next week. And I haven't said anything publicly until just recently because it's just been so fucking hard. You know, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't tear up thinking about it. And I try not to think about it too much. I have his pictures all over the place. His computer's here. Look at all these fucking lights. This shit is in my office, you know. And I just would come to the office and I'd see his stuff around and it would just drive me crazy. You know, because I physically, you know, would get sick. I thank God that I have my daughter Jacqueline and my fiance Chloe to be there for me and other family members, and it's just unbelievable. So if you have somebody in your life that's doing drugs, keep tabs on them the best you can and try to get them into treatment. Treatment does work. And if you're doing drugs, fucking stop. Just fucking stop, because you're hurting everybody around you.
Well said. Well said. This is a hurt father right here. Please subscribe to this channel. Please stop doing drugs. Thanks for watching. No Joker. Like and subscribe.